Hello there, my mate Vince here, back on the Rolls-Royce. It's November, but yet the day's nice and sunny. Ground's a bit damp and I have to get underneath the car, but at least there isn't wet and puddles everywhere. It looks like a flock of seagulls have decided to pebble dash my car very nicely. Thank you very much. Look what came through from Canada. Remember I was saying about it's hard sometimes to know where things line up, and I'm trying to zoom in on Google. Well, look at this. This was sent through all the way from Canada by Richard. And now you see, if I want to know what trim looks like, then I can look closely here. So that's nice. Hopefully I can refer to it when I need to know where something goes, which is good. So I'm going to pop another 5 litres of fuel in, and I just want to start it up because it hasn't been started in about 3 weeks. Last time the battery was flat and it took ages to start. So I want to see now, this should still be charging the battery, whether it's going to work. And yeah, basically I want to just check underneath the car today. The camera won't really be with me when I'm under there because really now, any day, I want to take it for an MOT. So I just want to do some final touches up around the place, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. Got to drain every last drop because this is the expensive stuff. There we go. Okay, battery is connected. Excuse my hair, excuse my attire. Let's see now how you're going to start. I'm in park. Here goes. Ooh, didn't like the sound of that at the end. It is cold as well. I'm going to pump it. I know it shouldn't make a difference, but for some reason pumping the accelerator just seems to do the trick. Now it has been 3 weeks, but before it just seemed to used to fire on the button every time. It's worrying. Come on now. Battery's getting really weak. It's not going to start. Oh, that's annoying. Battery's gone. Oh, what a ball ache. Right, let me charge up the battery. I need a new battery. Right, well the battery's on charge. To stick up for it, last time I did only charge it for about 4 hours or maybe 5 hours, and it was completely flat because I needed to get it back in to move the seats back for the seat belt. So yeah, and also the battery is getting old. It hasn't really been, it's been on low charge now for a long time. It's just a bit worrying because to begin with it sounded like it was turning over well, but yet it wasn't even attempting to fire, was it? So it sounds like a bit of a fuel starvation problem. Anyway, let's not worry yet. Let's get some charge in the battery. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get underneath the car, and I am going to just I want to check out a few things for the MOT. And then what I think I might do is I was watching how to sand back boats, wooden boats, varnish boats, to get a nice gloss finish. So I might do the door caps today if I have time. Okay, so I've got various jacks, bottle jacks, axle stands, trolley jacks under there to make sure it's nice and safe. And this is what I'm going to be doing. Basically, I want to put some more waxle on the bottom of the suspension that I did on both sides, and on some parts there's going to be missing underseal because I can see there's big chunks of it missing, so I've bought some of that there, and I'm just going to be painting on some of that around the place, and also just doing a little bit of sanding off the pipes just to see what they look like underneath that. From memory, the petrol pipe going to the front is quite corroded. I'm worried the fact it's not starting. I'm wondering now, could it be a fuel pump issue, with it being laid up for so long? As well as that, annoyingly, when's the last time you've seen one of these? These were always around years ago. I very rarely see them now, but I've got the luck of having a white, obviously it's not a dog unless that dog's been back, but some animal has deposited its bowels, so I've not just got seagull plop all over my car, something's happened here as well underneath. There you go, white. How on earth did a cat or a fox manage to squeeze itself under there to do that? Out of all the places in the garden it could have done it, it's done it right where I'm going to be lying, which is annoying. Anyway, I've got a shovel, so I have to clean that up. Hopefully it's not sloppy. My luck has changed for the better. It's not white dog poo, it's a lump of concrete. Right, so I'm going to get underneath the car now and do a little bit of work. I wish I could show you what I'm doing under there. I've only just started, but basically I've picked the worst bit of petrol pipe. It was like orange. You can see the colour on here, on the sandpaper. Yet, now that I've done that for a few minutes, but I've got a lot of it back to silver again. So let me try to go under here to show you. It's so claustrophobic, it really is. It's reminded me of when I had to do the rear, the suspension thing, which is still holding up. Just, where is it there? Anyway, look at this here. Right, so can you see here, this pipe, this one here, was completely orange, and now a lot of it has gone back to silver. So I think there's 2 fuel pipes here. I'm going to hammerite it first, and then I might put underseal, because the rest of the car has been undersealed and it is going to provide some protection for it. The worrying thing is that I have read that it can be an MOT failure to paint your brake pipes. I know that's a fuel pipe, but because they can't see the condition of it. But the problem is, if I was just to leave that fuel pipe, and if I sand back some of the brake pipes, and if I was to leave them completely exposed, then they're just going to rust up really quick, aren't they? So I think I'm going to take my chances. So that's what's probably going to keep me busy most of today, actually. So yeah, I'll just sort of give you updates as and when. And while I got that side of the car jacked up, it gives me an opportunity to hammerite the wheels as well, so we don't get the rust stains down here. And it has worked, because you can see here there's no rust stains on that wheel or on that wheel, yet this one here hasn't been painted, and you can see a nice big rust stain here. Right, I'm very happy with how those 2 fuel lines turned out. It's weird, everything at the front of the car is kind of perfect up until this part here, and then it just seems to be getting rustier and rustier as we go back. But yeah, the fuel line now has come out a lot better than I thought it would. So we have some massive filter here, and then basically they go down that way there, and they all look pretty nice. And they go up here. I haven't touched them, they're perfect there, but from there back I've been touching up. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So that's been hammerited. What I'll do now is I'll go over with some underseal as well. Do you know what, I might not even bother, because the hammerite should be protecting it anyway. Also, we have a huge amount of pipe work here for the brakes, and again at the front of the car it's all looking pretty good. It's just when we get to the rear axle it starts to get corroded, but that all looks really nice. All sorts of valves and stuff going on there. And now that I've got the front wheel off, I'm going to apply some brake grease, because I didn't do that when I changed out the caliper seals and the brake pads and the brake hoses here. So yeah, the little moving parts here and here, I'm going to apply a little bit of grease to it. Well, that's a shame, it's only 4:50 and I've lost light. Oh, see, I took the summer for granted, you see. Because, you know, I'm willing to work for hours more, but I just can't see anything. And by torchlight or flashlight, you can't really see what you need to see. Anyway, although I filmed next to nothing today, I have actually done a fair bit. You know, I'm kind of happy with. Well, I say happy with underneath. I don't know, because it's kind of hard to see. But because I didn't have a huge amount of daylight, so there could be massive bits where underseal's missing and stuff. Can't see anything through this camera lens at all. But yeah, I'm kind of happy with what I've done there. So I think what I'm going to do now is, I did want to mess around with the door caps, but I don't think that's really going to be an option. I could do, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself down the shed, and I might start sanding back, you know, the wheel hubs. Well, the wheel hubs have a little ring of colour on them, and I might spray them up, or at least, you know, start preparing them anyway. So these ones here, that thing there. So what I'm going to do is, you can take them off at the back here, and then I should be able to take those all off, put them on a bit of cardboard and give them a nice spray. So I think that's what I might do, because at least it's light in here. Now, what have we got here? So the car came with 2 of these ones, and I like these ones because they have the gaps around them. They just look a lot nicer. And it came with 2 of these. And you see, I don't like them. It just looks like a flying saucer. I think they might be the ones for the Silver Spur, not the Silver Spirit. So what I did is I bought another 2 off eBay. And I think I got them for, they might have been £50 each, which, believe it or not, is not a bad price. So I wonder now, I was going to say I'm just going to take these 2 off, but these look black in colour. These aren't even grey anyway. So, yeah, I might as well leave those ones on there and just work with what I've got here. I was saying that one's awful. No, they might be okay when I sand them back. Right, so let me clean up these 2 here, and then I can start working on them. See, there's a little hole in the actual wheel, and that's supposed to go through it. As you can see, that's been bent up incorrectly. Apologies if you can hear a high pitched whir. I've got my Makita battery charging. There we go. Yeah, annoyingly, this one here is in much worse condition. To begin with, the little point's gone, and also all of these things have just been looks like masticed on. But maybe I can use the kind of star washers from one of the Silver Spur ones. Yeah, look, if you just do it bit by bit, they kind of ease their way up. Nearly there. Excellent. Right, all the retaining washers are now off. I'm going to call them star washers, but I haven't got a clue what they are. And now we have this ring loose. So you can see that this is the same in every single car, and then they just put this on to match the car. So I personally really do like the design here, where you have like this this colour with a bit of purple around it. You can see it's on that one there as well, but that's got 2 lines. But too far gone, and they're all different. And some of these have kind of been painted in. So if you have a look at that one, you can see that's been painted in quite badly. So what I will be doing is just making them all the same colour as the car, which is that grey colour. But I need to clean them up and sand them back. Right, so I need to do that on each of them, and then yeah, I'm just going to keep cleaning up the hubcaps, make them a bit nicer to work on. Right, considering I've only used a wet wipe on that, that has come up pretty nice. So it just shows you when something's well made, that even when it looks awful, a little bit of work and it can come up looking much, much better. So that doesn't look any worse now than the ones that were on the car, and to begin with it looks awful. Obviously, when I get this ring on it and all sprayed and stuff, then what I can use is I can use some metal polish when it's on the car and make it all nice. I'm not sure how far to take this, because the problem is there's some proper gouges out of it. You know, it is only on a wheel. I don't want to spend weeks respraying them. You know, sanding them back and filling them and sanding them back. I'm not sure what to do. I think I'll get my sander on it and see how easy this comes off. Well, luckily it's coming off very easy. So while I'm doing that, I'll give a shout out to the My Mate Vince Massive. The members this month are KipDigital.com, Kip Hakes, Max Rokotansky, Having Fun Repairs, Chris Seal, Felipe at MrKeebs.com, DJ VG, Pixie, Robert from Timsey's Auto Air, Anthony Dean, Bazza2, Russ Melanson, Gaspar Heller, Rickard Bergland, Jacob Culpin, Soul Reaver 555, and Lucas Scott. So thank you to each and every one of you, and everyone else that supports over on Patreon. Now, next time we pick up this video, all 4 will be sanded, and then we can be ready to spray them up. Okay, I'm very happy with how these rings have come out. Don't know what they're made out of, but you can see all the layers of paint that's been put on there. So you can see it's like metal, then they've put this red primer, and then it's just built up from there. I'm thinking how they got that lovely thing wasn't a decal. I think they must mount these on something that spins perfectly, and then they just, while it's spinning quite fast, they just get a thick brush, hold it against there and lift it off, and then get a thin brush, hold it against there and lift it off. I wonder if it's the same guy that does the pinstripes on the car. Apparently there's one guy that does the pinstripes on the car. Well, that used to be the case. 6-figure salary job, so minimum of 100 grand. That's nice, isn't it? And check that out, I haven't even given that a proper clean. I've just given it a little wipe with a wet wipe and then put the cloth over it. Imagine when that's polished up. And that's where the money goes, you see. I haven't cleaned that side, but that's quality, and that really is quality. And to be fair, that is good quality as well. So imagine now another hubcap of this age on another car, how it would look. And imagine if you just put a little bit of time into cleaning this up, how it's going to come up immaculate. It really will come up immaculate. Really good quality. Well, I'm going to see if I've got any primer. Check this out. Such a good feeling when you have stuff. Grey primer, grey paint, 1K clear coat. Not the 2K. 2K's amazing, but not so amazing for your health. I've got it all. And I've got a couple of cans of primer, loads of cans of this, loads of cans of this, because originally I was thinking of doing some sort of respray myself, but it's so hard. Anyway, I am going to get a little bit of cardboard down, or maybe a bit of paper, and then let's get some primer on these. Nearly there now. I'm actually quite excited. I've got my dust mask ready to go. I'm doing it on the floor, so obviously all the dust can kick up and stick to all the nice freshly painted surface. That's the way I roll. Right, here we go. Now these are a little bit on the cold side. A good tip that a lot of people have told me is put it into a bucket of warm water and then the paint will flow nicer. But let's just see how it goes. Obviously these have been stored down in the shed, so they're all quite cold. But let's just see. Remember, the finish here isn't critical. Hence the reason why I'm doing it on the floor. And also I'm lacking workspace everywhere else. Right, I am all masked up. Now, let's go. I'm just going to give it light dustings. I don't want to do it all in one go. It's already starting to colour. Right, this is the worst one. I can actually see a little gouge taken out of it here, but I think it's going to be fine. We need to remember it's on the wheels. How long do wheels stay clean for? Very little time. So I'm not going to worry about tiny little bits of dirt or anything. Right, I'm going to let that go off, and then I'll spray it again a couple more times. I've put the car back down as well. So I've just sort of, while I'm waiting for this to dry, I'm just tidying up outside. Okay, I'm going to carry on tidying outside, and hopefully these will be dry, and I might be able to give them another third coat of primer. So I don't think I'm going to get it all done tonight. In the summer, this primer like dries instantly, but well, not instantly, but you know what I mean, very quickly. But I can still see that it's wet around here, so I'm just going to use the hairdryer on it just to get a bit of heat onto the metal. Right, I'm happy now. I think they're dry. Obviously don't copy what you see in these videos. I should probably be leaving this overnight or for 2 days, but I'm just going to, I'm a bit impatient, so I'm just going to go now with the base coat. By rights I should be giving this a light little sand now before I put the base coat on, but I know I've said it already, but it's on the wheels, so I'm not bothered if the finish isn't perfect. I'm going to let that dry and then give it another couple of coats. Okay, so I'm waiting for the wheels still to dry in the shed, so I've popped the battery back in the car. Let's see now if it's going to start. Hope so. Fingers crossed. I am in park. Come on now. Nearly. Yes. And the lights have gone out here. Brilliant. So I think it's just that the battery was, do you know what, I don't know, maybe the battery was just weak, maybe my connection on the battery isn't that great. I did notice on the positive terminal there was a little bit of, looks a bit oxidized, a bit of brown stuff, like a little bit of rust, but it's lead as far as I know, but I gave that a clean up. Weird thing is, that time there, did you see it wanted to fire near enough straight away, even though it was weak, it still kind of wanted to fire. So look, I'm happy, it's running again, which is good. I'm just going to move this car back a little bit so I don't get flat spots. How nice do those lights look? They're just on half, but can you see how clean they are now? They really are lovely and clean. Compared to what they were before, there doesn't seem to be any condensation in there now. Well, I've just noticed that this isn't working properly. So you know the parking brake? I found a way to do it, but basically watch this. If I go down here, you will see it just comes back up again. Yeah, but now look, if I do it from this angle, pushing pressure to the right, then it locks in. So I thought maybe it's something to do with the handbrake at the back, because remember I did do a bit of welding on it. That will probably need to be replaced. But no, it's more to do with here. When I go here, it doesn't want to do it. But when I do it from put pressure to the right, then it does. Now that's fine, because now I know that it's like that. Then I'm sure I will be able to fix that, hopefully, quite easily. It might just need loosening up. Let's see if I just do it a little bit. Yeah, so if you put pressure to the right, it works. So obviously there's something not quite right with that mechanism, and that will have to be fixed. Also, that seems a little bit sluggish on the way back, so it might all be linked. Another thing that is really disgusting is, now that I've got everything looking nice in here with the lights and stuff, can you see the LED they've used is a blue one? Ugh. So yeah, again, not bothered for you know, for now, but that will need some that will need a bit of work on it. Right, let's turn it off, and then we can get the hairdryer on the base coat, and let's see if we can get another bit of base coat on. Now I've turned it off, let's just see if it starts straight away. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just going to give it one more base coat now. I can already see that they don't look very good. That one looks good. Basically, the two original ones that were with my car look good, but the two I got from eBay they're very there's like, I can see the pit marks in them and stuff. So yeah, it's not gonna look great, but the thing is, it's gonna look better than it did before, because the wheels were a mismatch and also the rings were all different colours. At least now it's going to be standard. But yeah, I can definitely see that these two would need some more work doing to them. But the thing is, I'm not too bothered, because let's say now if the car gets an MOT, I get it resprayed, it's all looking good, I can take these two off and do them again, so it's not a big deal. Well, I'm just going to give it one more coat and then I'm going to call it a day for today. Right, I was going to leave it there, but thinking about it, I remember in Norfolk Man Cave, one of the videos, he said that he puts on the clear coat quite quickly after the base coat when it's just flashed over, because it adheres to it. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put a coat of this on, and then basically I can, next time I come, I can add more clear coats. So I think I've done enough base coats on this. Wow, this is nice stuff. Right, I am very happy with progress today. I didn't think that I'd get as far as I did on these here. So yeah, I think when they're back on here, I think they're going to look just fine, especially when these are all polished up and looking good. So yeah, very, very, very happy with them. So next time I'm down here now, I did actually apply another top coat to it as well, so it's had a few goes. I think I'm going to use a little bit of sandpaper, just wet and dry, just to flat it back a bit. Not going to go crazy with it. And then I'm going to use this stuff here to buff it up. This one, and there's another finer one just behind it. And I can... yeah, I think that will bring the shine to it, especially when that's all polished up with metal polish. I think both together they will look pretty good. I am back a couple of days later now. Sun shining, nice day today. Fortunately, I left it very late, it's 2 o'clock, so I'm only going to have 2 hours of sunlight, maybe 2.5. Anyway, I want to see if it is going to start. So it's been 2 days. Let's see, I'm not going to put my foot on the accelerator. Is it going to start? What's going on? I wonder, has my battery just died? You know, there's not enough oomph there to fully turn it over. It could be, couldn't it? Because it's weird how when I charge it up, it fired straight away. There we go, nearly. To me, it just feels weak, you know, on turnover. It doesn't feel strong. I don't think it's a fuel starvation problem. I think it's not turning over good enough to get things moving properly. I think I'm going to buy a new battery. I wonder, would a new battery fix that, or is it some fuel starvation thing? Anyway, I think it deserves a new battery, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Sounding powerful today. I'm not going to lie, I'm slightly disappointed at that. Anyway, I think I'm going to do a little bit of work on these door caps, and then I am going to go back and polish up the grey things that we sprayed up on the wheels and try to get them on. I did bring some white cable ties down as well, so I can cable tie them on, because they're probably prone to falling off, and when I got the car they were cable tied on. But obviously when this was new, there was no way it would have been cable tied on, but I don't want to lose them because I presume they're getting harder to come by. For the wood here, I'm going to use 1500, then 2000 grit, wet and dry, and then I'm going to polish it up using, you know, one of the pads, the polishing tool, and then this stuff here. So I'm going to be using this here, G3, and then going over to G10. For these rings here, I'm going to do a quick little go at 800 just to try to flat, and then I think I'll probably do 1500 and 2000 on them, and again polish with that and that. When I came down here today, it was quite nice because somebody had put the ULEZ camera pointing up towards the sky so it can't get any number plates. Right, I'm going to go to 1500 now. Just going to add a little bit of water to it. I'm going to go to 2000. The smell from that is something else. I just pulled it out of the bag and it just gave me such a lovely waft. Now I'm going to start with this stuff. Basically, with this a little goes a long way, so I'm just going to put a tiny little bit on. I'm not sure if this is going to clean up. They look very dull. I wonder whether I have to go to maybe 3000 grit, but I'll give it a go. I suppose I'm going to have to wet that a little bit, am I? Right, hopefully that won't spin out everywhere. Well, certainly easier. Well, okay, at this moment in time it doesn't look any better than when I put the gloss coat on it, top coat. But maybe let me give it another polish, and when I go down to the finer grade it might bring the shine up nicer. Ooh, the shine is starting to reappear. That's starting to get there. Right, let's go to this one here. So I'm going to have to change this pad, aren't I? Right, so I'm going to go to this G10 now, and hopefully this will be finer. Oops. I'll try this one here. I don't actually know if this is fine or coarse or what, but we'll give it a go. Just going to add a little bit of water in there. Right now, what are you starting to look like? Not great, but not awful. I can definitely see reflections in it, but it's not amazing. Do you know what? I think down on the car, on the wheel, it'd be good enough. Now I'm wary of the time because it's 3 o'clock, so I know I've only got just an hour and a little bit, so I am going to get one of the wheels up, the hubcaps. I'm going to use some metal polish on it, get that clean, put this back on it, fit it to the car. At least then I can show you one wheel finished. Obviously I will be doing all the others, but you see I can do them off camera, or I can do them in the shed when it gets dark. but I want to have a, oh dearie me, I want to have a finish to the video today. So I want to at least get one wheel done, and I'd like to get one door cap done. Wow, this is really solidified. That's more like it. Oh no! Oh, I think these were my good trousers that I were going to wear. Not out, but down at the car. They were a lot better than the ones I'm wearing. Oh well, too late now. Oh, starting to come up clean. Now, let's get this back on here. I'm just going to get the star washers. Apologies, I wasn't filming. Anyway, here are the star washers, and I'm just popping them back on. I've got one more to do. Well, if you give them a little bit of a twist, they seem to work their way down. Oh my. Oh my. Come on. That is looking pretty good. Right, let's get it fitted to the car. I'm going to try to strap a couple of cable ties around it. I know the cable ties will look horrible, but I don't want this flying off. Right, so I've got to get this thing here in that hole there. I might have to crush it or make it wider, I'm not sure. Do you know what? You know I don't often sing the praises of this car, but you can tell there that that is quality. You really can. Look at it. The retaining ring and everything here, everything about it just looks really well made. And if I was to clean it all up in here, it will come up immaculate inside. But what's the point? As soon as it gets driven, it's going to get filthy on the inside anyway. Once I give that one more polish on there, I think it's going to look really nice. Right, let's put this on here. Oh, so that's got to go here. Oh, that's why you line that up. It's for the valve. Here, that's why you have that thing. So it lines up with the valve. Yeah, right, okay. So you just whack it on. No, let me get a rubber mallet. Can't find a rubber mallet, but I found this, so I think if I just tap that nice and gently around here, it will work. Joke. What is that? Look at it. Looks like it's hundreds of years old. I'm going to think that that is a roofing tool to cut the slates, boom, 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 hammer the nails in, and to pick the old nails out. That's got a good bit of age to it, that is. It's got a maker's mark here as well. Snail brand or Snell brand, made in England. Bit of a gap around here. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Right, let's try to get a cable tie around there and around that bit there. Now I know they're going to look horrible, but it's better than losing them. I'm going to cut that there and I'm going to shove it round. I want to move it round so you can't see that connection. Right, let's try to spin that round, out of the way. There we go. Right, let me buff it and then I'll do a final reveal. Ready? Check that out. How nice does that look with the grey ring now? That really finishes it off, doesn't it? I think that is looking pretty respectable. Right, okay, I can already see the sun is going down over there. I'm going to try to do a little bit of the door cap, but I don't think I'm going to have enough daylight to actually finish it and show you. But I'll do my best. I'm starting with the 1500, and then I'll go to 2000. I've just got a bit of water on it. The last time I varnished this must have been about 6 weeks ago. Now it feels, it kind of feels solid and hard. It doesn't feel like tacky anymore. It stayed tacky for a long time. Or maybe it was because it was sunny. A lot of people said I'm going to have trouble taking this off as well. So yeah, that might not be fun. I have got some IPA, so maybe that will help lift the stickiness off. Right, 2000 grit, new and wet. You know, I am going to finish on a bit of 2500. Why not? You can see now it's definitely dulled down. Is it ice smooth? No, not whatsoever. I can still feel loads of grain on it. So I don't think the finish is going to be that great. But as long as I get the shine on it now, I'll be happy. I think I put enough time into them. So I've got a nice soft cloth, which is the inside of a sweatshirt, so it's kind of nice, that nice fleecy, furry stuff. Right, so I've got the G10 on here, I've got another cloth now, looks the same, but it is different. Ta-da! And what I like about it is I'm starting to build up a sweat, which means it's good. I'm doing a little bit of exercise, because basically I went to the doctors for a blood test, and annoyingly my cholesterol's high. Even though I'm still pretty skinny, I only weigh about 1.5 stone more than I did when I was like 17 or 18. It doesn't mean I'm fit on the inside, and I need to do exercise, but it bores me. I've tried to go swimming, I've tried to walk or run around the block. I don't mind walking, I still like walking, because I listen to Audible, I'm listening to Peter Kay at the moment, and that's good. But just running bores me. But you see this, I'm doing exercise, but I'm doing something productive, so I like it. See, for me, I'd like to do something like squash with a friend, but you know, everybody else works in the daytime, or they live too far away. There's not many people that are kind of self-employed where they can just take a couple of hours off in the middle of the day. Also, I've been looking around. There's squash courts near here where I am now, but there's no squash courts actually near where I live, which is weird. Not that I'm a squash player, I just like the idea of it. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm competitive, so I like winning something. So if I'm chasing a football, I'm not chasing it to be fit, I'm chasing it to get the ball before someone else. But yeah, just kind of running doesn't do it for me, for no reason. And I've got to give up cheese, which I'm peed off about. I've definitely overdone it with the G10. I'm going to be polishing all night. Do you know what? I am going to get the I'm going to get the polisher on it, because if I don't load it up with much like that there now, it shouldn't spat all around the car, I'm thinking. When I say high cholesterol, it should be between 3 and 5. I'm 5.6 or 5.8. It's not bad. apparently I can get it down with diet. Well, that is starting to look pretty fine. Right, what I'm going to do is, there's no point in cleaning it with cloth because I've got all the compound in these bits here. Let me try to take off the sellotape and then I can give it a clean then. Are you going to come off? It's 3M stuff, so it's good. Oh yes. Hopefully it's not going to take all the leather, the paint off the leather or the dye. Oh no, it's taking the leather off. It's taking the leather off there. Right, okay. Well, I was warned that would happen. It's not designed to be left on for a long time, you see. Taking the leather off there. Right, so what am I going to do? Use IPA? How about if I use heat? Let's get some heat on it. Looks like heat's doing the job. Yeah, heat's definitely worked. You can see that was the bit I did earlier. And there's a bit of, I don't know if you can see or not, but there's a bit of cream there. Can't see it on here though. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame that it's taken a little bit of leather off, but it's okay. It's only the colouring that's come off, so I can just add a little bit of dye to that. At least I know now to use heat on all the other doors, and it should come off smoothly enough. This next part now takes me, I think, about an hour and a half, or maybe even 2 hours, because I want to clean all the glass completely. The sticky tape leaves a lot of residue on the glass, so I need to get a scraper and scrape all the residue off. And also there's a lot of green algae type stuff from all over the years, all over the rubber everywhere where the glass moves up and down. So I want to give all that a clean. So it takes a long time, but this next part now, it is very dark, but I just want to show you what it looks like after I've cleaned this door completely. And also I've added little bits of cream dye, parchment is called, to the actual tiny bits that came off on the tape. My oh my, I am done. It's taken me ages, but look at this door cap now and the door itself. I cleaned up all the glass and it looks really, really nice. Check it out from the inside. Really happy with it. I think it just looks good. Look how clean it all looks. Nice bit of shine to it. Bit of bling going on. That is looking pretty special. And what I did is I cleaned up all in here. It was all green algae all along in there. Now look at it, looking nice, nice, nice. So yeah, overall that door is looking, let's leave that on there, that door is looking pretty good considering the age of the car and considering the condition of the car, and considering I haven't spent a huge amount of money on it, really just a lot of labour. I think it is starting to look more than acceptable. Obviously not as good as a Rolls-Royce finish, but this car is never going to be up there with anyone that's been looked after from new with a lot less miles. But I think that door now is looking pretty special. Look at it. I love the shine on the wood. And this is it in the daytime, it's the next day now. Check out the shine on that. It's looking really nice. It actually looks nicer in the day than it did with the studio lights on. Oh, I'm so happy. And look, I was busy last night. I've done the other 3 wheels. One there, and one here, and gave them a nice good polish up as well. So I'm going to fit them to the car now and we'll see what it looks like with 4 wheels with the white walls. 20 minutes later, remember I had a hard job getting this one on here, and have a look here. Can you see that it's you know, you can see the actual steel rim behind it, yeah? This one went on with a couple of whacks. Just literally with my hand. I didn't have to use the mallet at all. Just boom, boom, and on. Can you see? You can't see it. This one is about 1 centimetre bigger. So this is like 42.5 centimetres. This one is 41.5 centimetres. It's not the wheel, it's the hubcap. The two in the shed are both 42.5. For some reason, that one's smaller. Now, I don't know if that was an original one with the car or one that I got off eBay. Not too sure. So, yeah, bit of a shame, but I don't think anybody would really notice. All 4 of the wheel hubs are now on. I'll walk you around the car. So it's very interesting to note that even if they look the same, there obviously is a difference in wheel sizes, because this hubcap here is 1 centimetre less than all the others and a lot harder to fit. So overall though, you're not going to notice 1 centimetre, but it's fine. So that's that one. That's that one there. You can't really see them properly because I haven't got enough room to kind of move back, but they're looking much better now. Makes the car look more finished. And this side here. So I think all in all, a successful, let's go this side, a successful episode. That's that one there, and that one at the front here. Let's get down here. There we go. So that's all looking very nice. Very happy with that indeed. So if you enjoyed episode 50, give it a massive thumbs up. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to work on the door caps, but I'll just do that off camera because it's going to be the same as this one here. I'm not going to get all 3 done today, but I might get another 1 done, which will be good. And when I come to removing the tape, I'm going to use the hairdryer from the very beginning. Before I even start peeling, I'm going to heat it all up. Hopefully then it will come off a lot easier and there'll be a lot less work for me, because that's what took all the time, was removing the blue tape. Oh, it's looking well. It really is starting to look well. There we have it. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you hopefully very soon in part 51. Take care.
I feel like I've been here before, familiar with the view. This ain't nothing new, and every time that you walk through the